My name is Joan Semmel. I'm an artist, and I'm mostly a painter. That very old-fashioned thing. But I live here in Soho and have my studio here and have been here for 42 years, which is a pretty long time. In the past, I think that art always dealt with idealization. The idealization of the individual in the portrait, the idealization of the body, the whole idealization of the sexual image. And one of the reasons that I decided to use myself was I wanted it to be a specific body, a specific person that is not idealized, so that the culture absorbs people as they are, not as they would like them to be. And that was very much a part of my whole interest in doing it. Using myself was I was a convenient model. I was also an outsider because I was a painter, and I find myself still very defensive. Yes, I'm a painter. Yes, I'm a feminist and I'm a painter. How can one do that? Well, I do it. But I think that what I have done is try to capture the actuality of how one sees and experiences oneself. And one can only experience oneself moment by moment. So some of my really new work deals even with the idea of the motion, of how the blur, how we see ourselves in movement, not static. So that moves me into the idea of aging, because the motion and the constant motion gradually moves you into the changes that takes place in your face, in your body, as you get older. And for me, that's very important to explore some of that, given just the demographics of the society today. And my work has always been interested, or I have always been interested in the work having a relationship to social problems, and not in a pedantic way, and not in an agitprop way, but that the connections that are there in the work to some of the things that I would like to see change in the culture. Painting for me it's very natural, uh, and it engages you on all levels. So that it engages you physically, which I like, and it engages you mentally. Uh, and people think that it's not in, it doesn't deal with reasoning with the intellect, but it's not true. In order to be a good painter, you need also to have a kind of intellectual understanding of how you frame your picture, why you're doing it, what you're looking for, how it relates to other work. All of those things come into play when you're making a painting. Not all at the same time. Sometimes you work and you let the work carry you, then you step back. And when you step back, you make certain decisions about what you have and what you see. So it's that back and forth process, which I find very engaging also. At this point, to go back to the Bronx is great fun, because I remember walking down the Grand Concourse where the museum is. I grew up just about 6 blocks away from there, and I used to walk there on the concourse with my mother wheeling the baby carriage and my brother, and it was, it was very interesting to go back to that environment, to see your work hung there. It's kind of exhilarating in a way, that this is where I came from and this is where I've gone, you know. And I think in terms of the Bronx Museum, that's also important for their viewers. I think during the 80s and 90s, it was a very painful time, because I had started out and gotten a lot of attention for the work, and the work seemed to be, really there in the lexicon, so to speak. And then suddenly, the German Expressionists came in, and there was a whole shift in the attention of the art world. Painting was only expressionist painting could be seen. Uh, it was as if a tsunami had come, and we were just wiped away. And that lasted for a long time. Then gradually, what was permissible were women photographers and performance artists, but not painters. Painters were masculine, and they were women really just didn't have balls to paint. That was still the way it was, and it was a long time. And yes, it was painful. I would say uh, it's very gratifying to me that at this time, uh, a lot of the women are starting to get attention again, and younger women have more opportunity. I won't say complete equality, but more opportunity than we had when we were younger. So at least I feel that all those years of really standing on picket lines and so on has produced some change.